Okay, so I chose this pot, one of my Sarracenia purpurea species venosa. So it's a very purple and hairy species. I decided to take this individual and I'm going to cut more moss off of this one. Uh, really, the only problem that comes with sphagnum moss is that it can overpower, well not overpower, but overgrow your actual plants. Generally, people say that using sphagnum moss to sow seeds is a really good idea because of the fact that fungus and such really doesn't, or infection and bacteria doesn't really thrive in sphagnum. I mean, like, it's very clean, live sphagnum moss. But the only problem with that is the sphagnum moss itself will overgrow the seedlings and take away all the light. So as you can see here, this was planted in this, I planted this sphagnum with this Sarracenia 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it has totally taken over. It's going over the pictures and everything. So I'm going to cut off here. I'm going to cut a lot of the tops off here. Take some of the tops like that and just set them wherever. Just plant them on, push them in a little, right onto the top of the substrate. So it's like you're just giving one of those grass heads a haircut almost. But you don't want to cut too low, and you certainly do want to leave bits of a few heads left. And if the heads, when you cut the heads off the corners, they grow back looking like this. This small corner here are the small new buds or what have you, these top parts of the sphagnum growing. And as you can see here, this would be an example of a burnt end of sphagnum up here. This bit grew quite high and I didn't have my water level high enough, so the rest of the moss was fine because it was lower and it got enough water, soaked it up, but this piece was too high and I guess it didn't get enough water at the top, so it didn't make it. So I can just cut that off anyway. I'll toss it in. Another thing you can do is, as I mentioned with the dry sphagnum, the technique used is to chop them up. You can do that with the live stuff and it'll sprout. So take these, cut them with the scissors. And sphagnum moss actually has a peculiarly interesting smell too. Not to be weird, but it's interesting. It doesn't smell bad. It just smells like strong vegetation. It smells fresh, almost like vegetables you would eat. It's interesting. It's really not the smell you'd think this particular moss would have. So I'm going to cut some more like this. Cut some more of it. Sprinkle that on to the dead moss. Okay. Cut some more buds, stick them in. Just like that. And in this case, especially around where the new growth on a Sarracenia comes, you don't want the sphagnum to be crowding over that, because that's not good. Like that, just then the light won't get to the new growth point in the middle there. So you don't want the moss there, so you can cut around that. That certainly would be a good idea. So yeah, let's keep going. And I'm just going to keep cutting away, and then I'll get back to you, show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the moss before. Take a good look at all corners. We'll start here, move up, then we'll move to the left, and then we'll move down here and back to the right, and then one zoomed out, just so you can really see, or you'll easily be able to see the difference. And when we do an update, again we'll start from the right here, move up, to the left, and down. Alright, so let's put this in the greenhouse, and then yeah, we'll get the week update. Alright, so here we go. Moss is in. I'm keeping the lid up. Lots of light coming straight in. And yeah, we'll give you guys an update. Real quick, last thing I would recommend is that the sphagnum be given some more water. Nice soaking. Yeah, well, just for the heck of it, I'll say don't put water in your Nepenthes pitchers. It's not something you want to do, but we'll talk about that in another video. Dilutes the digestive enzymes, and yeah, you don't want to do that. Anyway, so yeah, you can see the level of water rising underneath, and you'll probably want it to stay about this high at all times. Alright guys, so update time.